mature audiences only. So sit down, shut the fuck up. You're now listening to Noise Control.
Right, welcome to the podcast, mate.
No worries.
You can introduce yourself to the people.
What's up? I'm Impulse, or better known as Zeke. I am the 2023 YourShot winner.
Oh God, straight into it.
Yeah, well, people like to hype me up a little bit like that, and sometimes you don't even get to you think it's a bit of gaslighting at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you pulling the piss or not? But I mean, I've been told to really ride it as long as I can. But
You got about a good year out of it, like that, I reckon, till the next YourShot. It kind of you got that year to just pump yourself up a wee bit.
Yeah, I mean, even then, it's still being the winner is still hard enough to get. Get consistent and get gigs and stuff like that. And I've been pretty slack lately, to be honest, especially with my content on socials. But, people are doing a lot better than I am. That's for sure.
Yeah, it comes down to also where you live as well. Like we were just talking about off camera, like you got a kid and stuff, so you don't get to. It's very hard for you to drive all the way up from down south, Mandurah to go to gigs and have that mingling time with certain people and put your name out there more than anything.
Yeah, the one thing I've been told consistently is showing your face. And my biggest struggle for showing my face is I've got a family to look after and I've got to travel an hour, each way. And, when the train lines end at 2:00, it just becomes you got to be there early.
Yeah.
To make it worth it. And then if you're only going up for a couple of hours, it's a pretty draining trip. People do it, and I've done it plenty of times in the past.
Yeah.
But I guess adding the fact that I'm a dad now does
just
make
a
it
bit
a lot
extra
harder.
on top, eh?
Yeah. So then you got to think about babysitters, and then my partner, she obviously wants to come to other things as well.
Yeah, that's it.
But when you're choosing this as a career path, some people aren't very supportive of that. And
nah, not at all.
And
it's seen as a
you
know what I mean. It's like being an artist. You know what I mean? You make a piece of artwork and then you sell it. That's your income. It's the same with the whole music industry. It's that's not really. It's not. You're getting a pay packet at the end of the week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could play a massive gig every 2 weeks, and you know what I mean, get paid say $1,000, like all these big DJs. But then you've got once a month. But then you've got all this time off.
Yeah.
So people spread it out over those 4 weeks and go, you should have just got a normal job. But then you think, I earned that in an hour. You know, it's the same with my event. That's what we have in common as well. The small event thing.
Yeah.
To me, it was that. Oh, it's not a real thing. It's a hobby.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a hobby, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Making a little bit of coin, but it's something I get to do for other people and something I love to do.
Yeah.
So is it really the trade-off so much better than going and working 30, 40 hours a week?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not scared of hard work, and I've worked before. I just think working is not for me.
Yeah.
And I've got a passion, and like you said, having these other things. If you have a bunch of small hobbies that all create an income, you create the same, if not more, income.
Well, that's
than
it.
a normal job.
Well, that's it, and it's all stuff you want to do as well. It's not just putting all your hard work into one thing and then doing one hobby on the side. If you've got 3 or 4, you can make spend 2 days a week on them. You know what I mean? And most of them as well, you stay within the realm of the same thing, like DJing, event running, promoting, all these things. They're all within the same realm. So it's not like you have to dedicate 2 days to this, 2 days to that, 2 days to this. Doing one thing will add on to every single day. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, it all just kind of flows.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, it all just runs off the back of each other. I mean, with PÜLSIVE, our first event, I told you about it when I met you. Yeah, it was actually quite a big success. And, I went to Quincy's, underground chats nights, and I learned a lot about that, what to expect, really.
Yeah.
And my expectations was far exceeded, especially for something as small as Mandurah and doing it out of a bar.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing we learned as a team was our overheads. We were a bit ambitious.
Yeah.
We had the live stream, although it was good for exposure. I think we had about 1,000 people throughout the whole night.
Yeah, nice.
Which was pretty good for exposure. I mean, some people think it's small numbers, but
well, any numbers is good numbers, man.
Yeah.
any publicity is good publicity at the end of the day. One person tells 3 people and that 1,000 turns into 3,000, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, over on the PÜLSIVE channel, we've already teased our next event. We kind of just, we got a Christmas event coming up, 15th of December.
Yeah, I remember you saying that because I was meant to come to the Halloween one and then you're like, oh, it's already happened. And I was like, oh shit, I thought it was this Friday. Fuck. In my great wisdom. But it's good to have a consistent run of events.
Yeah. We're on the track of being known as themed events because we've got 2 themed events ready. We want to stay away from that.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of...
It's more about a rave, but we've just taken these kind of themed events as opportunities, and especially having the relationship I do with the manager and owner of the bar.
Yeah.
The manager of the bar is actually our marketing and manager for PÜLSIVE. And he's a good friend. He's been in the game for quite some time. For Monkey Bar, our night was top 3 out of 12 years that Clint has actually worked there.
Yeah, wicked.
We'll stoke with that. So we're going to try and get it back to that for our next event. I kind of lost my words there, but I am expecting it not to do maybe as well. It is around the Christmas time.
It's a little, it could either go one way or the other, eh?
Yeah, it's either going to be hectic or we're probably just going to break even. But
breaking even's better than...
Yeah, it's better than flopping. That's for sure. And I'm hoping we haven't dived too deep. But it's all things you got to learn with. We'll make sure everyone's looked after.
Well, that's the thing. At the end of the day, you got to, you know what I mean? If you've put something on, you just got to go balls to the walls with it. Like, you can't go, oh, shit, we're not going to make money, so we're not going to do this, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do this.
Yeah.
Because then it looks bad on you. Why, to the people who have paid money, well, why is there not this stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we're trying to make it, we're making it worth people's time.
Yeah.
And our main focus is bringing this kind of culture to Mandurah. It is like a big enough, like they call it the heart of the South. It's not as South as people think.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't call it that for the 6 months I lived there.
Yeah, no, definitely not the heart of the South. But it's big enough to create a culture around the music scene down there because, when people think of, raves and stuff like that, it's all just Perth.
Yeah.
And being able to bring that to something, to my hometown, with a bunch of our mates is something that's really rewarding. And, it brings what we like into the community and it gives them something else to, talk about. And it also brings people down to Mandurah. I mean, it is a lovely place to be. And they've really changed a lot since I first moved there, especially that foreshore area.
Oh, that foreshore area is top notch now.
Oh, yeah.
Still wouldn't walk there at night, but
no,
on a Friday, Saturday night.
I mean, being from there for so long now is you get used to it and you start to know the names of them.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That was always me down in Albany there's like the dodgy part next to the nightclub was like this big car park area. And it used to be a Home Hardware. What was the one? Yeah, it was Home Hardware with the dogs.
Yeah,
the 2 dogs. Yeah. So it used to be there. So it was just a big abandoned warehouse, and then it was just a car park for that. And there was no lights there for fucking years. I got held up with a hatchet, walking in my car, and then one guy behind went, "Oh, Charlie, how are you?" And then told his little fucking cousin to fuck off because it was an Aboriginal guy, but they all come down for funerals and stuff to Albany because it's like the closest big place.
Yeah.
And some of them caused trouble because they're, you know what I mean, have a few drinks and stuff. And it was like, there would always be one that would recognize you and then tell their cousin to fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, this one time I was walking in my car and it was in the light and I still got, you know what I mean?
It happens.
But you know people and you just, it's sad for people that come down to like those places to be, you know what I mean, to be confronted with that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because you know it's a nice place and like these people aren't always there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even the ones that are, you know them, they're nice enough, you know what I mean? They leave you alone. But it's always that one that ruin it for the people that aren't from there and they go, well, that was a shit place to be. And you're like,
well,
bad night.
Most of those, you know, those types in Mandurah, you know, when you're walking around at night and they're just a bit loopy, they keep to themselves most of the time.
Yeah.
It's not unless you like mess with them.
Yeah.
Then, you know, we've kind of learned the hard way a little bit here and there. But That's what you do.
You do when you're 18, you know what I mean? You wind people up. It's the
cheeky,
same. Come to Perth City, you know what I mean? I've seen people try to wind up homeless people.
Oh, but it's so
You know,
it's so
you
much
get
easier
slapped.
to do in Perth because if you find yourself like this goes back to you know bit of violence in Mandurah. Obviously,
Yeah.
when you're in Perth, there's cops everywhere.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
So you have like 2 minutes or less until there's safety. That makes
Yeah.
sense. Whereas like Mandurah, you've got to wait a solid 10 minutes
Yeah.
before any cops are around.
Well, it's the same as Albany, man, because there's
Yeah.
not that many cops on at night.
Yeah,
Like, even though it's a Friday, Saturday night, there's only a limited amount of cops on,
yeah,
and they got the rest of the place to fucking look after. They're not going to sit down at the foreshore or the
Yeah.
same in Albany, you know what I mean? Looking after these people. You know,
So,
what I mean? They
yeah.
got to do they get a call somewhere else.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
just,
And Mandurah's that kind of place that will have, the attention of cops will be elsewhere. Nightclubs not really thought about too much.
no, well, not much can go wrong until it does go wrong, though.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And top floor as a shoebox of a nightclub, really.
Yeah, I've
It's
never
not
been,
that
eh?
big. Yeah, it's not like it's good. It's the only thing open in Mandurah after 12. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Murphy's, I think I heard lost their license. So they were open till 2, and that was
Yeah,
more
that's
like
what I thought.
your older scene. But I guess something went wrong there. Not too sure of what it is, but I was in the hospitality for a while, so
Yeah.
I know a bit here and there. But Mandurah is an open market if you can come in and get your license to after hours and stuff like that, and you bring a club to Mandurah, but
They've
They're
gone
just-
through a fucking few, man. Wasn't
Yeah,
there
yeah,
like
they had
Toucans?
Toucan players. What's the other one? Some chick's name they called it.
Yeah.
Jeans or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've just changed owners multiple times, and I'm pretty sure I'm not 100% on this, but through word of mouth, I knew that the 2 nightclubs that were there when they were running they ended up getting bought. That whole area bought under the same owner, and so
Yeah.
what the owner's done is they shut down players, which was controversially maybe the better club.
Yeah.
I was still underage then, so I didn't really get a chance to
Experience it.
experience that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but through some of my older mates, I've been heard that like especially the smokers area players was
Smokers area makes or breaks a venue, honestly.
oh yeah for sure.
100%.
Top floors is good. It's quite narrow and small. It is a small club. I think
Yeah.
players was on the corner there, and it was upstairs as well. I think.
Yeah.
So I guess it was just a bit bigger, but yeah. So you'd have to, if you wanted to come in and create a great opportunity, you'd have to buy players, but you'd have to play ball game with the owners, I suppose.
Well, that's it. That was the same down in Albany, man. Like, it was 2 nightclubs, one at the top of the town and one at the bottom, next to all the other pubs. And it was owned, the other guy had the lease on the top place. It wasn't really a nightclub, so to say. It was more like a late night bar style thing.
Yeah.
Still worth it. But he kept that lease up, but had it shut so he could just have everyone down the bottom.
Yeah.
And it got to the point that I think someone took it off of him some way. And now it's like a late night like bar thing, open
Yeah.
to like 3 or something. And then more people go there, I've heard.
Yeah. I think through word of mouth, players was I think a similar thing where I think they've taken most of the bar lines and stuff out.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to lease it out, you can't use it as a bar anymore.
Yeah.
Like and I guess that is just to create, obviously there's less competition, so you probably lose out more because then if the owners are owning both clubs,
Yeah.
then you if you go down to one, there's less wages to worry about, less.
That's it,
like
less
that.
overheads, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and more people. You
Yeah.
can fill out that club more often,
Yeah,
even
well,
if it's smaller, you know what I mean? If it's a 300 capacity, you can fill it 300 and have people lining at the door, you know what I mean? That style
Yeah.
of thing, instead of having 200 here, 200 there, no one queuing up.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like, business-wise makes sense.
yeah.
but-
Well, top floor's got a capacity of 400.
Oh, true.
And I give it to them. They've just been they've redone their whole lights.
Yeah.
Those lights are pretty sick, man. They're pretty full on.
Yeah.
If you could pull off, getting in there and having your bass on tour event.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, those lights they
They go
set a good
good.
vibe. Yeah. And when I was working there, I was working as a lighting guy.
Yeah.
And we were originally stationed in like this little closet. with a window, pretty much.
With a peep little
Yeah,
slider window.
pretty much. Yeah, that was how it worked. You had a fan for cooling yourself, but it was pretty hot in there.
Yeah.
But now they've actually moved the light controlling booth back to the back of the venue more.
So you
One, so you don't
actually
get
see it.
blinded.
Yeah.
And two, you get a better view of what's going on.
Yeah, that's it.
But they've definitely got a lot of potential there. And for them to, create some more events there would be a really good opportunity.
Yeah, I hope so, because I know a lot of people from down there. I see them all the time up here because I live down there a bit.
Yeah.
And then, so I know a few people, and then like yourself, and then just random people, like just meeting out and stuff. There's a fair few people. Most of our friends are actually from down south. They're into bass music, from south of the river. But I actually know a pretty good handful of people from Mandurah ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they all love the music. Like they come up here for shows and stuff. So I've
you-
never
yeah.
really seen something other than yours since kind of like Ugly DJ Co.
Yeah, big ups Ty Turner.
Like after they kind of stopped doing what they were doing and came up to Perth
Yeah.
and started killing it up here.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I want to bring Pulsive to Perth, but then you think about it, you've got to have a solid, loyal community.
Yeah,
And
it's very hard because you're fighting against.
there's so much in Perth, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot in Perth, man. Like there's a page where they called Perth Exchange, D&B Exchange, where it's like all the big players are in there and there's a calendar.
Yeah.
And just seeing like people put in there like, we're booking this date, we're booking this date, we're booking this date. It's just fucking like when I got first added to it, people were already booked. I got added to it in like July and people were already booking up to November.
Yeah, right.
So it's like obviously so people don't clash with like big artists and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's also good for like smaller crew, like Sleepless and stuff. Like say me and Sleepless want to put on an event, like we don't clash with the same night because it's sort of the same crowd, you know what I mean, that type
Yeah.
of thing. So it's good for that. But watching some of the fucking events fall in, like
Yeah.
shit getting booked already for a quarter of the way through next year, you know what I mean? It's just like you
Yeah.
couldn't bring your little small event from Mandurah to Perth and then it'd be a lot harder where you could grow it down there enough to where people want to come down.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, it's probably better to do it that way instead of making the loyal people come up to Perth. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a bit.
And like, there's a lot of people in Mandurah. Like,
Oh,
and
it's
there's a
fucking
massive
huge,
market
man.
for it. And yeah, like the amount of times I've gone out to, especially these bigger events and stuff like that, like even like these smaller ones, like I'll go to Framework and I'll see a bunch of people from Mandurah.
Yeah.
there. And it's like, there's definitely a market for it.
Oh, 100% if you don't have to catch a train up or drive. Like my mates drove up for Boo the other weekend.
Yeah, fuck that.
You know what I mean? It's like they didn't go home till after Subsonic.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Was it Subsonic? No, it's Bass Tripper.
Bass
Subsonic
Tripper, yeah.
was on
That
last
was
night.
last night,
Yeah.
That would have been sick. You see, these are events that I wanted to go to, especially being a promoter for Higher Ground.
Yeah.
That would have been sick to go to Boo, but I just, again, being a dad and stuff like that and being able to co-work it is hard.
Yeah, especially when it's like the weekend's like the only time that like everyone's out doing things, but it's like the only time you can see family and stuff with the kid, or you know what I mean, your friends can see the kid, you know what I mean? It's like you're fighting against two tides there. It's like got to pick one or the other.
It's hard, but I guess while I'm in this kind of stage, I'm picking up the producer stuff and kind of really wanted to go with that.
Yeah.
I'm just at a genre crisis at the moment.
Genre crisis.
Yeah. I love my D&B and I'm a very dancehall D&B, but I feel like for Perth, it's mainly like jump up stuff or, you're near.
I think it's kind of coming through a little bit of a wave at the moment.
Yeah.
D&B, that's the thing, dance floor and Euro will always be there. That's kind of the core, like D&B thing. But whereas every other genre comes in waves.
Yeah.
This is what else is big in the rest of the world at the moment is what's coming through Perth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like jump up in general is very big at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Belgian. You know what I mean? It's just,
with all those,
it's just what it is at the moment. Like,
and you have people like Boo and Headaches who are just killing it at the moment.
Yeah. You got the new guys coming out like Soda Primate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all those guys. It's like.
Yeah, it works and people are wanting it. Being my kind of style of, mixing D&B is more your dance floor stuff. I mean, I'm very into that. And like I said before, going through an hour set of just straight jump up is quite hard for
Yeah.
me personally. I'd need to be on a copious amount of drugs to deal with that.
Yeah.
And then again, it's hard to do that when you've got such responsibilities.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean?
it. You can't
So-
be fucked up on the Sunday because you'll be kicked out of bed anyways to look after the kid.
Yeah, yeah. Done it before, not doing it again.
Nah, it's a one time thing.
Calm
Eh?
down things are just not.
No, well that's the thing. It's like it's just what I feel like because Perth went from like rhythm, but like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there's always like drum and bass in Perth, but like
It was never as big as it was now.
there was always a cult following.
Yeah.
But whereas rhythm was such a big thing, like your fills, your basements, your syndicates,
Yeah.
like all this shit, and then what's similar for these people to go watch that's still going around at the moment, jump
Yeah.
up.
It's just a faster
You know what I mean? It's
version
like
of that.
yeah. So it's like these people that don't really like drum and bass, but they like the pots and sounds. They're like, yeah, we'll go to a jump up set. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like at my event, I had a so Sizzle on the last lineup. He's on the next lineup as well. He's a good mate of mine from when I was younger, when I first decided to try DJing out.
Yeah.
He taught me a few things that one time on his decks, but I've always known him to be really into rhythm, and he was a rhythm guy, and he was always chopping rhythm.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, jump on this event because you helped me out that one time to kind of
Yeah.
discover my passion. And the next thing I know, he's mixing dirty jump up. I'm like, when did you like drum and bass? And he's like, it's just a faster rhythm. I like it. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I'm like,
There's a heep of rhythm guys down south.
yeah.
There's
there
a
are so
heap of
many,
big guys.
Infect and stuff like that. They had their boiler room stuff at top floor, and that was like the only kind of outside event besides your magic Mike nights and your ladies and all that sort of things. But
Well, there's what's the event called? Not Inertia. Can't remember what it's called. They do a set down there.
I need to do my research, hey. Like with all these events and stuff, I'm still so new. Like
I can't remember the one down there.
yeah,
My mates played for it. Vinny and Lockie from
Oh,
the
Vinny.
4K Binny, and then Lockie. They played a Being Human set at it.
okay.
Oh, can't remember what it was. Fuck, that's gonna bug me.
You can't.
But
can't
yeah, there's
rely
so
on me.
many events, bro. Like there's just
Yeah.
countless events. Like, and that's the thing. You just kind of have to do it.
Yeah,
And I think it's just the time coming out of COVID that everyone's kind of like, oh, I'm going to do this.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And someone told me, you got to find your niche
yeah,
because it's like everyone can bring over these big artists, but Inhibit and Higher Ground and, you know what I mean, Sammy the Sinner and stuff, she's starting to get in that way. They can do that. They're already doing that. So that market's kept.
yeah.
So you don't need to be that next person. You need to look at that. Okay, can I bring in international people smaller? You know,
Yeah.
but like the mid tier, you know what I mean? And then it's like,
Well-
what do you do? Andy Carpenter does that pool watch, bass watch, where it's like the pool party, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
you got to find your little niche.
Yeah, well, I've been fortunate enough to get on the promoters team for Lost and Found Productions.
Yeah, true.
Have you seen? You've seen obviously their first post with they
Mate,
got
I've seen everything. I've been
Yeah.
fucking my inbox from that boy has been so fucking full. That kid,
Yeah.
oh,
so
crisis mode.
like you're talking about getting the smaller international guys. I'm not saying anything, but there's
Oh,
something
no.
to look forward to. You know,
And those post notes are right. Have all those fucking like he'll just come over and we'll hang out and we'll just start brainstorming.
yeah,
And I'll have literal post. That's why I had to throw out like all that shit because there was just like clumps of just post-it notes looking
Yeah.
at how much things are and where to go and what to do and stuff.
yeah,
Because the downside I feel in Perth, we're running out of venues.
yeah, for sure.
Like there's not this smaller because what's it called? What was the one downstairs on the way to Maggie's sewing room? That's gone.
Oh really?
Yeah, they Gucci bought that,
Oh
or one of the big stores bought it that
Yeah,
was
okay.
above it to like turn it into downstairs. So that got bought out, which was a decent sized venue for smaller events. Like Protocodes did stuff there, Sub Era
yeah,
did stuff there, and then obviously Volt's got Amber
yeah,
or like Lucy's, so you can only do Friday nights there. But
yeah,
obviously that's owned by Boomtics which own Highline, so it's kind of a bit of conflict there if you're going to put, you know, I mean, it's kind of that, like, you can't really go there.
Doing things on a Friday, especially with inflation these days.
Well, that's the other thing. You got to keep your event prices. I was talking to someone, I can't remember who it was. No, can't remember. But they said you got to keep it within someone's the average hourly wage.
Yep.
So, like, say the average wage is $20, $25 at a push. You got to keep your event at 25 or lower, like, because no one's going to come out.
Yeah.
If you're charging for these like big events, obviously you have to. But this $60 events, no one can afford to drink when they, you know what I mean? They're pushing themselves to drink, so they're spending $100. But if you keep your event good and cheap, then people can spend an hour worth of their money getting in, and then you can buy 2 drinks. You know what I mean? It's just that you got to keep the cost. Like, you still need to make a bit of money because you always need to make money.
Yeah.
But you've got to keep it low enough where people go, well, that's an event where I'm not breaking the bank to come see a good act.
Yeah.
Because everyone does, you know what I mean? Boo. Like, you know what I mean? It's an expensive event. Holy goof, you know what I mean? It's like $60 to $80. Like, it's not a cheap event.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's a big artist, so you can kind of go, well, obviously it cost 20 grand to put them on. You know what I mean? You got to sell so many tickets before you break even. But with the smaller events, you can't charge $35 because it's just not.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to figure out at the moment. Like, our last event was $10 tickets, $15 door sales.
Yeah,
that was great. That worked well. I mean, with our overheads, we still didn't. We did well.
Yeah.
But I think the turnout was our main focus. I think
the
community and stuff. But we're thinking of trialing a different kind of way for our next event.
Yeah.
Still cheap, and it's still same prices. We're just thinking about what can we give you in return to make it worth your purchase.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to figure out what we're doing. Like, our last event, you know, you bought a ticket online, you bought a ticket on the door, you got a free drink with it, a free shot.
Yeah.
And that kind of, you know, made people think, oh, it's worth it.
Well, that's what they do in Europe, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we went to a nightclub in Barcelona, and fuck, those tickets were expensive. How much were they? Like €40 for 2 tickets to get in?
Oh, yeah, that's expensive.
For a normal club.
Yeah, right.
But you got a free drink. And I'm not talking it was like a normal drink. It was like a 50-50 mix.
Yeah,
like, it was like
right.
but like, it was a Gucci nightclub, like top end nightclub, sort of like suits and all that sort of stuff. But it was like bizarre because it's not a thing here. You buy entry to a club and you get a drink. Yeah. So it was just this weird, like, but that's a good thing. Like, with
it's like something we want to have with our events, is something that you're known for. It's like, it's value for money for one. You know, well, you're gonna pay entry, or you're getting a free drink with it. You know, maybe paying a little bit more than a drink, but it's still, you know, you're getting your value for money with it, and that's something we want to keep consistent with our events. Yeah. Creates a little, you know, something that people remember us with.
Yeah, well, that's it. And for the people that, you know, I mean, it is breaking the bank for them to, like, go to these cheaper events. Yeah. Like uni students, they still get value for money. Like, they still get a drink, you know what I mean? And then that means, okay, I can just go buy one more drink. Yeah. Obviously, they won't. They'll buy more than that. But you know what I mean? That thing, I want to go have a couple drinks, but you only technically have to buy one after you bought your ticket. Yeah. It's just a way to... That's the hard thing with Bass on Tour. Because there's all different venues, all different rules and stuff. Yeah. It's very hard to... I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that sort of thing. Like, if you buy an early bird ticket, you get a, you know what I mean, a free drink. You know what I mean? That type of thing. But I think I'm going to get custom wristbands done for the whole thing. Because in the works of organising all these different stops, but I'm going to get, like, the proper festival, like, do-up wristbands that people can keep. Yeah, sweet. Because in Europe, man, like, every festival we go to, people keep the wristbands and they put them on their bum bags. Yeah, okay. So, like, you walk into the festival, man, they got, like, fucking... big fucking
it's
dog tags.
Boy Scout bands.
Yeah, bro. And it's just all fucking just festival they've been to. Yeah, and I thought that'd be cool for these people that live out in the country, you know what I mean, to have something to remember the night by. Like, it might cost me $1 every ticket or something like that. Like, but if I order bulk, it might not. But you know what I mean? Something cool and custom for people. And then the next time I go up there, people go, I want another wristband. Yeah. You know what I mean? Add to the collection, you know what I mean? That type of thing. Or I do an event in Perth, they're like, oh, I want to get a wristband. You know what I mean? That type of thing where it's like something special that people can remember the event by more than just a photo and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, it's just hard finding that balance though, really, of like what you want to, how much you want to not lose, but how much you want to pay. Like off, like your $10 tickets, you know what I mean? Obviously, $2 goes to this, $2 goes to that.
Yeah.
Now you're down to $6. Okay, we're going to give away another $2 worth of stuff. Now we're only making $4. And then say there's 4 of you working on the event, everyone gets $1. You know what I mean? It's like that's hard to.
Yeah. So we
kind of got to bite the fucking bullet sometimes and just because if you lose on your first event, break even on your second, and make profit on your third, you've broken even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then you've done 3 shows and you've broken even. Like it's a good track record to show. That's why I said to the guy who runs Lost and Found, like I was just like, you know what I mean? Just if you sell out, like it's only a small room at the Rosebank. I think it's like.
You haven't been there before. I've seen it. I was like, oh, okay.
I think it's like 96 people.
96 people. That's a bit smaller than what Monkey holds.
Yeah, so it's not a massive venue at all. But I said, man, if like I got a fair decent amount of people going, and it's cheap. So I got, you know what I mean, I've told heaps of people about it, and I reckon I'll get about 20, 30 to go. You know what I mean? And through the promoters, you know what I mean, get another 40 to go. I mean, you've nearly packed out the fucking place.
And especially with the quality of the lineup as well.
Well, that's the thing as well. So it's like, if he gets sold out, but say he loses a bit of money, you know what I mean, however the ball falls or he breaks even, or because the first event's the hardest one because you got to set everything up, like your branding and all that. Yeah. So you could be in the red at the moment just with like setting up all the branding and shit. But I said, even if you do that and you break, like you sell out, that's a sold out show. Yeah. Yeah, it might have cost you say $200 extra, but you've sold a show out. So if you turn around to a bigger venue and go, I sold this place out, I need a bigger show. Yeah. It's more likely to come. That's why I got turned away from a lot of venues in Perth because I'd only done regional shows. Yeah. Which really kind of grind my gears, but it's like I sold out the Geraldton Hotel. All right. You know what I mean? It's like, so I've sold out a venue. Like, why don't you think I could do it in Perth where all my friends are? You know what I mean? In that sort of sense. Like, I wasn't booking this huge, wasn't booking metro cities or anything, but it was kind of like, oh no, we don't think you could. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just go to 8 other small towns and, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sell 4,000 tickets and then turn around and go, well, can I come now? Yeah. You know what I mean? Can I join this exclusive club? But it's just the venues are very hard in Perth. Like, I think that's why it'd be good for you to stay down in Mandurah because you know the people, you know the venues and stuff. So it's easier it's easier to book and get into.
There's actually some good places there. Like, you know, you got Bar Therapy, which is like this.
Is that a new one?
Yeah. So Bar Therapy, Little Stillers, and Red Manor or something something like that. It's like a other place, but the Bar Therapy and Little Stillers, they're all owned under the same owner. Yeah. And run under the same company. Little Stillers, that as a business itself is killing. Yeah. But on a Friday night, they've only just started up again. But on a Friday night at Bar Therapy, they've got this. It's like mainly an outdoor area. Yeah. And it's like quite a tropical kind of vibe. They've got the palm trees in there. Yeah. Right next to the bridge, you know, you can see the sunset and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's like.
Oh, is that one like if you come over the bridge and then there's the road coming off the promenade, like coming out of there? Yeah.
That's that little venue there. Yeah. Because it was originally somewhere else, like a gastro bar or something like that before it was bought out by the owners. But that in itself is a really good little venue. I think the only thing holding it back is we had a discussion with the Positive team and I. Basically, their Little Stillers is more your events venue. Even though it's smaller, they've got the on-tap stuff. Yeah. Whereas Bar Therapy is a lot of cocktails and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's a bit hard to do.
Your turnaround is, especially when you got people on the dance floor coming out and they want to drink. You know, you don't want to wait you normally wait a while anyway. But when you've actually ordered your drink, you don't want to wait another 5 minutes for it to be done.
Well, that's the thing, and it's like you spend $20 on a cocktail and you spill half of it.
Yeah.
That's like if you get a rum and coke and you spill half, it's like, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think our goal for the next couple of months to a year is when there's this thing the council do. They shut down that street and they have all the venues partake and they bring a little bar out and stuff. They set up a stage right on that turn in. Yeah. And they fence it all off and they shut that road down. So we want to get to a point where we can do something similar. Yeah. If we could do that, that'd be sick. But even just we know the owners well. I mean the managers of those guys, those places. Sorry. So even doing an event where it's a couple of venues, and you've got different styles of music there.
Yeah. Well, even if you got like a silent disco added onto it or something like that, you know what I mean? And like have more options for people, you know what I mean? Have the normal style stuff, and then for people who want to get more involved in a different way, like the younger crew and stuff.
Yeah.
Have like a little side. Some people hate silent discos.
Yeah, silent discos. What's your thoughts on silent discos? It's controversial, isn't it?
It's a hit and miss.
Yeah, it really is.
Do you know what pisses me off though? When there's only 2 channels.
Yeah, silent discos, and
there needs to be 3 going at the same time, because I hate it. Because you go, like it's like the blue one and then the green one, and then the red one, there's nothing on there.
Yeah.
And you flick through it too far, and you go all the way, and then you're trying to fucking fiddle around, get into the second.
Yeah, well, you got 3 channels at festivals, but like at smaller events, you've only got sometimes it's even the 1 channel, and it's
what's the point?
Well, yeah, what is the point? You may as well just have a speaker then. But you know, I get it. Maybe in the smaller venues, you've got a segregated area, and it's too small to have speakers. But personally, wearing headphones for like more than half an hour, kind of your ears start to hurt a little bit.
Well, it's also the thing is you can't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
Fuck man, I talk way too much. But you can't talk to anyone where you got these fucking monkey ears on.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work at all. It grinds my gears.
Yeah, I personally, especially being a DJ and doing silent discos, is also quite frustrating, because every time you're in a silent disco, you've only got 2 decks to work with. Yeah. Especially if you're getting booked to be a D&B artist, like D&B DJ, 2 channels is kind of
pushing it a little bit.
Really restricting.
Yeah.
It's like, telling a house DJ to play on 1 deck.
Yeah. Well, we went to New Year's last year, and we're inside the big warehouse at Claremont Showgrounds, and all the DJs for all the channels, like the 3 channels, were up on podiums, and you could see the sea of people surrounding like each one. But the other thing I hate about it is all the colors. Like you can tell when someone's not listening to someone. I feel so bad for some DJs.
Dude, I hate this, but S4S. I got the gig playing at the Labs event in Perth. What was that techno one? What do they call it? Right.
Yeah.
They call it Right. And I played the silent disco, hour and a half. That's the longest set I've ever done properly. Besides your bar sets, when you can really do anything.
Yeah.
But I played that, and S4S, really good person. He's a great DJ, but I felt so bad because, and you can see in most of the photos, 90 to 95% of the silent disco was on my channel. I can't really beat that. I had a lot of my friends there. But then again, I did switch over from hard tech to D&B at a techno event. But you can do that on silent disco. Yeah. I think that's one of the pluses. You can play whatever you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was told that even the inside stage got dead towards like the middle to end of my set, because people were obviously saying that playing. I don't want to sound so egotistical, like saying I'm a great DJ, because I'm not. I've only just started. But I guess on that night in particular, I had good song selection, and I was kind of feeling the rhythm out well. And there's actually one photo, and there's a video on my partner's phone actually. There's a photo on the Labs album. It's black and white, but my partner has pretty much the same video photo on her phone that she took around the same time. 3 people on the green channel, and the rest were all blind. And the silent disco
they made it black and white.
Packed.
That's probably why they made it black and white, eh?
Probably.
Can you hear these fucking drums?
Yeah, but they're going off.
I don't reckon the door's shut. I'm going to go have a look. Hold on, I'll be back. No, not for me. Oh, yeah. No, I was paranoid for a second. I was like, the door's open. Yeah, no, that's all good. I was here the other week, and there was a fucking someone had closed the door. Just open a little bit. I think you can hear it. No, that's all good. I was double checking. Oh, there's a sweat patch on my chair.
I get the same, man. Don't worry about it.
I fucking hate these chairs.
Yeah. Going on the fact.
Oh yeah, back to that. The black and white photo.
They're really good. that was it felt good being myself, but I felt bad for the other guy because he's good. But I guess karma came around. Well, you know, it kind of evened out the scores when they had the spins event in Mandurah at the Little Stillers. I was booked for that again, and SOS was on before me, and he's a great DJ, and he packed out the whole place.
And then you went up there, and it just.
And then I went on there, and funnily enough, I just wasn't prepared, and their decks weren't updated to the software that I've run my XZ, and my USBs were formatted to that. So I had to run my crappy YourShot USB, which was just small red light shit.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes of my set, everyone was gone.
Yeah, karma has a way of doing it.
It has a funny way of doing things. I felt so shit after that, but I was like, you know what, it happens.
Did he say anything?
Nah, he actually left too.
Oh, true.
So
he's like, nah.
Great. I mean, he did great though. He even like ended in DMB to,
roll into yours.
Yeah, roll into my set, and then I just bombed it.
You took the spoon and you just fucking face planted.
Oh, I didn't take a spoon. I broke it on my head, sort of thing. Yeah, it was horrible. But yeah, I guess that was a really humbling experience because it's not all wins.
Yeah. Well, that takes us into the YourShot bit.
Yeah.
So run us through how your experience was with YourShot.
Well,
start to finish.
Well, I was just coming out of a very strong addiction to MDMA. Like, I would scratch for it. And this is around the time I met my now really good friend, Adrian, who goes by the name Distill. He just does his DJing for fun, and he finds it a hobby, but he's realised now he's a bit past that age where he can give it a red hot crack. But he told me about YourShot, because I told him I want to go into Quincy's MRE Academy.
Yeah.
I was telling him I'm not sure how I could do the payment because I just wasn't earning money at the time.
Yeah.
But then he said, there's this competition called YourShot. You enter and they teach you for 6 weeks and then you play. And it's the similar thing, but it's 4 weeks less and you don't have to pay anything.
It's free?
Well, no, they market it as that, but I mean, it still basically is like if you're a wild card, you have to pay $62 or something like that.
Yeah, it's not like anything crazy though, is it? It's
contestants was $150, but you get your promo pictures, you get all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of you're getting more,
and you're getting a DJ course at Lab 6.
Yeah,
for $150. You can't go wrong.
Nah, that's
it.
You can buy some money out of that.
Yeah, I had Gene as my instructor.
Yeah, nice.
And it was funnily enough, a couple of days before our first lesson, Sage was born.
Oh, true.
My daughter. But going into that briefly, she was born. So the day she was born, we had to go up to hospital the next day anyway, because we were getting a CT scan because she had a cyst on her ovary.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was born the day we were supposed to go up. I'll come back to that because I'll stay on the topic of YourShot. But yeah, so she had to stay in hospital for a little bit. So it actually got to the Saturday, so the week of, and on the Saturday was my day to my first lesson.
Yeah.
And I was actually half an hour late because I had completely forgotten about it.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah.
And I actually I was actually really shitting myself because I was like, fuck, I've like, because Rash had said at our first meeting before the things,
don't be late and stuff.
If you miss your lesson, you're out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was shitting myself. It got to my lesson started at 6 and I got there at 6:30. And I came in, I said to Gene, I was like, oh, sorry, I'm late. So I looked like a homeless man. Like I had shit all over my trackies. I didn't have my hair done. I didn't have any deodorant with me. Just come out of the hospital room. So, and it was he was pretty good with it. He was really good with it. And I said, just my kid's just been born, sort of thing. She's just in hospital at the moment. So I was like, I said, no, it's all good. No, anything like that. So
can't be a shit thing if they turn around and went, yeah, no.
Yeah. So that was good. So from that point onward, you get a solid friendship between your class.
Yeah.
And you'll kind of get along. There was one person who identified it as a he or a she. I'm not really sure. They were only there for one day. And they just decided it wasn't their thing. I was like, oh, you just paid $150.
guess it's kind of better than not deciding it's not your thing when you pay $1,800 at Splendid or whatever it is at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what, not 100% sure what the pricing is there.
I think it's like $1,500 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, for 10 weeks, you know, I found going to YourShot way is a lot better for financially. Anyway.
Well, I think, and you find out if you actually like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like for $150, probably that person was like, yeah, it's not for me. I've only lost $150. Like, yeah, still like for some people a lot of money, but for a lot of people it's like, see, like, is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And yeah, I guess fast forward to week 6 was our last week of lessons, and we had to perform 10 minutes. And like I got good at DJing. I could mix on the fly and stuff. Like I knew how to phrase. I understood all that, but I had not prepared a set really.
Yeah.
And I was originally gonna go down the route of techno.
Yeah.
You kind of your 140s to maybe 150s.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to be like everyone else playing drum and bass.
Yeah, there's a lot of people playing drum and bass.
I'm so glad Batadan wasn't out.
Oh God.
I'm so glad. No, like seriously, YourShot would have been horrible if every second person played Batadan.
I'm over it, eh? I saw Boo play it and I was just like, you know what? I'm not as hyped as I thought I would be for this song.
Yeah.
I heard it 3 times in one night at Smile High.
Yeah, it's like, my name's Zeke and this is my first Batadan. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
I've got a crazy new song out.
Yeah.
Called Batadan. Never heard it before.
Yeah. But yeah, so the amount of times we heard the amount of times I heard Solar System though was I mean I've got to be guilty. I played a Solar System, but I technically didn't play Solar System. I played a remix of it, and people thought that was a double, which was kind of cool.
Got to slay with a double.
Yeah. So coming up to the day where I had actually had to perform 10 minutes in front of my class. Was also the day I found out I was trying mushrooms for the first time. So basically, my mate had given me chocolate, and I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'm hungry." I ate some. He's like, "Oh, hang on there, fucking that's mushy infused chocolate." I was like, "You're joking," sort of thing. So that was interesting. I found out I could DJ.
Could have led with that. Could have led with the mushroom infused chocolate.
Oh, well, it was the last day, so it came to that, and I just couldn't handle myself. Like it took me. I went and asked Gene to use his charger for my phone because I only had 3% at the time. I was like, "Fuck, that's kind of not gonna last me."
Yeah.
And to give you an idea, it took me 15 minutes to get the charger in the hole.
Jesus Christ.
But and yeah, so I found out I could become one with waveforms that day, but I kind of just had to I had to rely on my cue points, which was hard when you're seeing 3 of them at once. But no, I managed to pull it off. I think I still don't know. I mean, I've seen stories, and I've kind of just you can see the stories, and like people are filming me saying go Zeke and so on, and I'm just like staring at the decks like
being one
what
with
is life?
waveforms.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm floating. Hang on, there's a cue point. I should probably press play. Yeah, and then after that, I kind of just was trying to write it out. And it didn't help that Gene had brought a case of single fin.
Oh, God.
And I'm not a beer drinker by any means.
Yeah, I remember asking if you drink beer. Like, nah.
Nah, it's only hard super dry or pure blonde. But he had single fin, which is a craft beer, really.
Yeah.
And I was smashing them back. It's like I didn't have taste buds. It was really weird. But that was definitely an experience, for one. Ash was not very happy with that after I told her. So I promised her I wasn't going to go, drugs without telling her or talking to her first, sort of thing. But that was great. And then 2 weeks from then we had the playing off weekend really. So I played on the Sunday, but I went on the Saturday with Ash. And I saw most of my class play.
Who was in your class?
I had Oath, Dylan.
Yeah.
I had Milo, who's now Miko, because there was another DJ Milo already in Perth.
Yeah.
I think I think that's what the story goes. I had Urge, older guy, really colourful with his colour scheme of clothing.
Yeah, I saw the photo. Yeah.
J-Sonic, Jason.
Yeah.
Angus, who just, I got to admit, he has the passion for it.
Yeah.
But his brains aren't always there, and I know he won't mind me saying that because he just couldn't figure it out. I mean, he got there in the end though. Like big ups to him, and he was able to pull it off. So, but yeah, he was just
struggling a little bit with it all.
Yeah, it's like
6 weeks is a short amount of time.
It is, yeah, it really is a short amount of time.
Like if you can't, if you're not very switched on, another word to use, but like it doesn't click. It's like 6 weeks is just impossible to do. It's like studying for a maths test and maths just doesn't make sense to you. Yeah. And someone goes, "Oh, you got 4 weeks to be ready for, 6 weeks to be ready for," and you go,
"No thanks."
It's not doesn't compute.
Yeah. But then and then there was Andy. He was the one that dressed up. We had the swords with him on the day.
Oh, the Asian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his last name. I'm not going to give it a go because I don't want to butcher it.
I've never heard anyone actually say his last name, so I'm not even gonna.
Yeah, I swear I've heard him say it before, but I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. I don't want to do him dirty like that because Andy's really cool. He's really good.
I met him. I met him at Adam's house. Adam's birthday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Rugi's birthday.
Rugi's birthday. Yeah. Never met any of those. I met so many YourShot contestants because obviously they all hang out. Yeah. And I was speaking to him, and he was a nice enough bloke. Didn't have much to talk about. Like it was just like a hi there, bye there. Yeah. Sort of thing. But I've seen him out a few times. Seems like a nice enough bloke.
And then my favourite one of the class, just it's good for a laugh, and he won't mind me saying this either, is Troy, who decided that he's too good to plan a set for his first ever set. And it didn't take him until 15 minutes before the day actually opened at 12 o'clock of me trying to convince him to make a set that he said, "Okay, I'll make a playlist." Not even lines. He planned his first 3 songs out. Yeah. And I was like, dude, you have to have planned a set sort of thing. So I ended up making a playlist with 10 songs in it. I'm not sure if they were all in key either. But no. So then, after I had played my set, because he was on a bit after me on the Sunday, he went straight from my set to the library down the road. And sat on his computer and put in his story, something to do with trying to really plan my set because Impulse just blew me out the water sort of thing. I was like, I told you from the start. But no, Saturday was sick.
What stage did you play on?
I played on the JBL stage.
Which one's that?
That was upstairs.
Did you go the one the year before?
No, I actually didn't know anything about YourShot until Adrian had told me.
I'm trying to think because they changed it up this year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, Is the
Fireball stage still in the...
Yeah, Fireball was downstairs. They had Alizé out the front bit there.
Yeah. Okay, so those ones are all the same, and then JBL was
upstairs.
Top, and then they had it back with all the silent discos.
Yeah, that was the wild card stage.
Really dog them out, hey?
Yeah. Every other venue didn't have silent disco for the wild cards around Australia. I was like, that's a bit of a dog act. But what can you do? I mean, on registration day, more people went through than they were supposed to. It was supposed to be 100 contestants, 50 wild cards. But they said on induction day, I got pre-selected. I don't really know how that works.
No, I've spoken to like Marley about it and stuff, and that doesn't click with me. I don't get it, but
I wasn't quite sure with it either. Like I think I registered like 3 or 4 weeks out of induction day, and I got pre-selected.
You don't have to go to the interview or something, isn't it?
No, you still go, but you being pre-selected, you still go to the interview, but you're already in. But then knowing that I had registered like 3 or 4 weeks before induction day, and I still got pre-selected, I was like, there's probably people that have like registered from like the day after YourShot for the next year, sort of thing, like how the registration's open straight away for 2024.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how is it only 50 contestants get pre-selected? But so they mixed up the numbers a little bit. So I'm not sure what the actual final numbers were for the event and how many contestants, how many wild cards, but there was definitely a lot over.
Yeah.
But what can you do? I mean, I guess it kind of feels better that you beat more people, I suppose.
Yeah.
When you win.
Are we in frame, by the way? We are.
I'll move over.
I was just thinking that we've slowly arched away.
Yeah, I've got really bad ADHD, so I've got to be moving.
Same here, eh? This is why this place is bad, because I sit here and fidget with this cord
Yeah.
and just move this. So yeah, comes to competition day. Sorry to cut you off.
Comes to competition day.
Do you play early in the day? How many? How do the ticket sales work?
How do ticket sales work? I still couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Man, I don't understand it at all. Did you sell a few?
Well, I sold. It turned at the. Well, I sold most of my tickets really last minute. There was some people that had sold like 70 tickets.
Yeah, the Duddy Boys or whatever. Fucking.
There was someone who sold like 120 tickets. I'm pretty sure. And I was like, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Like, how many do you have that many friends? Like, I don't.
One year, I got invited to a party bus with 60 people, and the thing was, he paid for the party bus, and gave you a ticket.
Yeah,
So
I was thinking about that. Hey, I was like, because I was waiting for my tax return. I was like, should I just like spend half my tax return on tickets? And
Well, but
give them out to
that's
people?
what he must have done. Just fucking booked the party bus and told everyone to transfer money for the party bus,
Yeah.
and then gave everyone a ticket. Don't ask me names because it was a
No, fair
friend
call.
of a friend that told me that. But
Yeah.
look, got to do what you got to do. Really.
I mean, yeah, I was thinking about, or should I just?
But how does it help you if you're still a shit DJ?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter about the time, and if you can pack out a stage earlier on in the day, I guess that shows a better kind of aspect and a better, you got better song selection and skills as well.
Yeah,
So I ended up selling 15 tickets,
it's not bad.
and 6 people came out of my 15 tickets sold. So that was
That's
great.
alright. Still sold 15.
Yeah, still sold 15. So I ended up playing. My set time was at 2:55.
That's
I was
pretty
like-
good.
I was like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? And Troy, who sold, I think, one more ticket than me, was playing at 7 o'clock at night. So I don't understand how that really works, but I mean, it at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It didn't matter for me. I mean, it comes to the time where I have to perform, and I get up to the JBL stage, and obviously being so early in the day still on a Sunday as well. It was pretty dead. Like a lady from Venus was on before me. She was playing kind of like pop housey stuff. And she had like 5 or 6 people there for her. And that was pretty much it. Besides your randoms who are probably sitting on a chair trying to gather themselves or whatever. Your people outside, the smokers. Yeah. So yeah, then I go on. I've got like a solid enough crew with me. Got obviously my mates from YourShot. I made around the shop, and I guess it kind of helped that some of the guys from my class were kind of talking me up a little bit.
Yeah.
So people were like, "Oh, yeah, we'll go see this and whatnot." So I get up on stage and I'm just like, well, there's a point in my set that I have a bit of time. I want to think of something I can do to be different. And then I kind of just press play, and all of a sudden the mic's in my hand. I'm just saying shit. It was super cringy stuff. Like I remember at one point where I played this Solar System remix. I was like, "Do we like Solar System?" In like a really weird way. Like it was just random. Like I just picked up the mic.
Just MCing for yourself, eh?
Literally.
Do you know who does that, but? Soda.
Yeah. Degs does it as well for himself. Yeah. And he sings as well. A little sound as well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, she sings, bro.
Yeah,
don't come at saying that she MCs for herself, bro. She sings. Little Saints, I love Little Saints.
Oh, fair, cool.
It's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Don't you fucking diss on her.
I won't diss on her. I haven't actually heard too much of her stuff. I'm still quite new.
Bro.
But I have.
Voice of an angel.
I have heard her voice before, and I saw.
She does sing for herself and stuff. Like,
yeah,
I actually put
that's
some
sick. And like how COVID.
Is that what you were you trying to do?
Oh, there's no way in hell you get me singing. There's no way. But yeah, I found. Actually, it was Marley that told me. So for my set, I was just kind of like, oh, jump. There's like a pad right here. I'll jump on the stage, and because I've got some time, because my first half of my set was like hard tech, borderline hard style, hardcore stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll jump on the stage and like throw my fists around. And it was Marley that told me a bit after that one of the managers of the court was telling the judges to get me down, and Marley was like, no. Let him do his thing. I don't know. Maybe a safety hazard. I don't know. Something to do with that. But yeah. So that was a massive blur. But I remember there was a point where I went into this Teddy Killers remix of Jump Around.
Yeah.
And it slows down and goes into like your main bit with like the hip hop beat. So I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, I just pick up the mic and I was like, you guys look like you're having way too much fun. So I just decided to walk down and jump with them, pretty much.
God.
Yeah, I don't know. I was there for a while, but I guess I practiced my set. Yeah, I actually went all out, and I didn't know I could do that. And Squinty comes up to me and says, "I didn't know you could MC." I said, neither did I, to be honest with you.
Not something I prepared for today.
Yeah, I think it's the Vulture Red Bulls that helped me with that, to be honest. But but then as I'm down, like dancing with everyone, I hear Adrian, because it was like my personal coach pretty much, helping me with my set and that. And I hear him, he's like, "Get back on stage, you're going to miss your cue," sort of thing. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, yeah, I'm actually DJing still, sorry." So I walk back up, and I actually had like 2 bars before I had to press play. Luckily, I had actually loaded my other song ready to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pressed my cue, and I was kind of like hole puckering there, because I was like, oh, could have missed that.
Yeah, very close.
But yeah, after the fact, I was told by all my mates, like one of my mates, he's been a good mate for a while. He's actually Ash's brother, younger brother, but oldest of them. His name's his name's Brody.
That makes sense.
Yeah, middle child.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, his name's Brody, and he was just constantly in my ear all day. You've won it, sort of thing. Like, no one as good as you. You've won it, sort of thing. So I was like, it was hard to like stay chilled and have someone in your ear saying that stuff, but then also have, Adrian and like other guys come up and say you had pretty much all the judges there that you could possibly have, besides the ones that had to stay on stages, and like. I was being told that like there would be judges that would walk off and then they'd play another song and they'd turn back around and come back.
Fucking hell.
And like I kind of remember it, like it was such a blur, but I obviously up in that L-shaped booth there was someone, I think it was Marley or someone standing on the stairs there with a clipboard kind of smiling, and then there was another person with a clipboard next to him, and then there was another guy leaning over here with his clipboard looking, and there was someone behind me looking with their clipboard. And then as I was jumping down...
It's all very official with all the clipboards, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's sick. I mean, I kind of want to be chosen to be a judge next year for YourShot, just to see what that's like.
Yeah.
I guess I have a good enough chance because I won, I suppose.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. But yeah, and then I look back at videos of me down jumping, and there's 2 judges there with clipboards jumping with me.
True. Sounds like a killer set.
Yeah, it was actually... super sick, and it went by quicker than I thought. I didn't actually. Funny thing with both my sets, they're supposed to be 25-minute sets, but my first set I didn't actually get to play my last song, and that was at like the 22-minute mark. I got cut off. I don't know how that works, but
you played the full 25 minutes for the.
No, I played less on the main stage.
Oh, what?
When I got chosen to play at main stage, I played.
Yeah, so
less.
Run us through how you got. So how do they do it? So you win your stage.
Oh, yeah, so you go through and then they pick the winners of the stage of the day.
Yeah.
So
Sunday.
the day beforehand, the winners of the stages were like Oath, Duddy Boys, Dominatrix.
So the Sunday winner of the 4 stages, there's a winner from all those stages.
Yeah, and then they pick the winner
of those 4.
Group, yeah,
and then the Sunday plays the Saturday day winner.
Yeah, so then you got the same thing on the Sunday where you have your stage winners, and then the winner of that day goes up. So how they did it was they saved all that real last minute. So they had the wild card from Saturday, which was Jay. He played his set, and then they called up the winner of the wild cards for Sunday, and then that was Will's Rish, UKG guy. He's actually really boppy. He played that bootleg of that official remix now of the Badger with the Venga bus.
Oh yeah.
It's a tune.
Yeah, it's a tune.
Yeah, so that kind of went off, and he went from like UKG into like a bit of a jungle sort of vibe, and that was actually the first time I've ever heard UKG.
Yeah, right. Who did you prefer out of the two of them?
Well, because I was so into, I'm so into D&B, I felt like Jay's set was, it felt more like a main stage set. But
I love Jay's presence.
Yeah,
like I don't know. I didn't see like the other guy
throwing his. Yeah, Will's. I guess I don't know how they judged it, to be honest.
That's the weird thing. It kind of comes down to personal pick, if you know what I mean, more than anything.
Yeah,
in a sense, like it's not like you can score it like off a clapper meter or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of controversy around who actually won, etc., etc.
Well, the wild cards, man, it's like fuck me. Like the wild cards, they're already DJing.
And all their mates are already the judges and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's like,
but it's like in the sense they're already established. So it's like it doesn't really actually matter.
I guess it's just trying to push, like you're just kind of going for that so you can get an overseas set, and that kind of boosts it from there. Do
you get your overseas set? No, I don't want to go too far.
Don't go too far.
Yeah.
Then I'll lose track.
So they picked the winners. So there was Dominatrix.
Yeah, so she won Saturday out of the contestants.
I saw her set.
And she played Rhythm. I didn't actually get to see her set. I don't know.
It's pretty killer.
Why? Yeah, but I was told that she was like the only one on Saturday to use a mic or something like that. So that was.
I didn't even notice. But yeah, she was really good.
Yeah,
because I'm mates with her. She was good. There's a heap of people I know were sending videos and stuff. Because I was in Europe and I was like, send me like who's good, and one of yours came up, Duncan's came up, Duddy Boys came up. Like it was a real mixture.
Yeah,
and then obviously Duncan and her were the only people I actually knew. And then I saw on the Sunday she had won a stage, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, so she won that on the Saturday. I don't think I'll go into too much detail, but there was a lot of controversy around there. Especially, I think people were just maybe a little bit salty at the fact, because obviously she's really good mates with Savannah.
Was she a judge?
I think Savannah was a judge. Yes. I don't know. I still don't
Everyone's salty, bro. That
everyone
competition, everyone comes out of it salty.
Unless you win, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but even then, like people still come out of it salty.
Yeah, I
mean,
like
it's just that thing, man. Like I didn't win, so no one else can win. Like, but at the end of the day, man, it's just
it's a competition.
It's a popularity contest. That first stage, you know what I mean? It's like that's what it comes down to. Like, yeah,
I was actually quite shocked to win as well, to be honest. Like, I knew no one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's kind of a cool feeling. Like, it literally came down to your merit instead of the people who know people and stuff.
Funny story, actually. So to give you a bit of backing, 2 weeks ago, Red Gang were in Mandurah.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. So turns out Cam was at YourShot on the Sunday.
Which one's that? Is that the blue?
That's the taller one.
Oh,
Juzzy's the smaller with the
the lanky one.
Yeah, Cam's a taller one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it turns out Cam was there on that day, and I'm not sure how the story properly goes, but they had asked him for whatever reason who should win, and who told me the story. I won't mention names because I'm not sure how people may feel, but who basically, as the story goes, is kind of he chose who actually won. He chose me. He thought I was sick. I mean,
outside opinion.
Yeah. I don't know if he was actually a judge or anything for the day, but it's kind of weird to know that he was in Perth at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It feels like Perth is still such a forgotten about city.
Yeah.
In Australia. But so that was quite cool. So yeah, that I found that out the other week that Cam had actually voted for me to win. Purely because apparently I look like a Vi one stage, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah.
That's half the fucking battle, man.
Well, yeah, Cam's a performer. They're Red Gang are performers, so I kind of brought a performance to my set, not just a set.
Yeah.
In a sense. I don't know how I did it. Like, I couldn't tell you. It just kind of happened.
It's like a race car driver, just blacks out and just does it.
Yeah, it was like that. And like, in the most humble way possible. Like, it just came to me so naturally. I guess because I have such a passion for what I'm doing, and I want to, make this a long-time career, whether it's, local or international, or, as a music producer and stuff like that. Like, I owe it to myself and I owe it to my daughter to be in this for the long run. Like, so there's a passion behind this, and it's something I really want to do.
Yeah. So it's a good feeling to win then. So
Yeah.
so you jump up. So you play for like 15 minutes.
I played. To give you an idea, I think I played till. Yeah, I finished my set on my double with Harder Street and the Tantrum remix of
Ooh.
Pump It. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
That's a
was
killer.
like that. After that was still like 4 or 5 more songs to go,
Yeah, right.
which is pretty crazy. But I guess that maybe had all they needed
Yeah.
because I was a bit of a vibe on stage. Like I was pretty drunk at that point.
Yeah. Long day.
Long day, and I found out LSD spray was a thing, so that kind of took the nerves away.
Fucking hell, cunt. You just randomly.
Opportunities arise, and I just take them, and I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
Yeah, opportunities arrive, and I just kind of take that.
So that fucking sent you on another rocket.
No, so the thing with LSD as a spray, you can take, it's like microdosing.
Yeah.
So it would take like a good 5 to 10 sprays to actually start feeling the effects. I think I only had like 2 or 3, and
Yeah.
it was given to me. Like I didn't spray it myself, probably for good reason because I was
Yeah.
quite drunk. But that kind of straightened me out a little bit and kind of took the nerves away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it helped me, focus in on what I needed to do.
Yeah.
I don't know how people may feel about that.
Is what it is, man.
Drugs
You know,
are
buddy.
around the DJ scene all the time.
Oh yeah, it's part of the culture, man.
Yeah.
Drugs are part of the culture. You don't have to partake in them, but it's part of the culture.
Yeah, it is. I guess around that, as I always struggled with drugs, especially being like a younger. So it's hard for me to say no still, but
Yeah.
I can regulate myself a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was also the first time I done LSD.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, YourShot was great for all sorts of experiences.
Yeah. So they called you up, you won,
Yeah.
and now onto the fucking business part of it. What's the fucking go with this international shit? Do
Yeah.
you have to send a
Everyone's
mix to
been
some?
asking the same question.
You have to send because I was speaking to the guys that won it last year. You have to send a mix to them.
Yep.
And then they send it out to all these festivals, and then they pick.
Yeah. So
That is right? Because they had kind of no clue because they missed the email.
yeah, so Rash had emailed me, I think it was like 2 months after.
Mm.
So it was quite some time. But they have a lot on their plate. That
Yeah.
was the first show of the 8 stops they had to do.
Is it 8? No.
No, it was a bit more than that, I think. I don't know.
It's like
Because there's
Sydney's
some-
2 weekends.
Yeah, Sydney was 2 weekends. I think Melbourne was too. But yeah, so I still haven't heard anything back as of recently. Like, I asked a few questions like, what's to go with like JBL? What is it?
Yeah.
Like, Red Bull and stuff like that. But it's still kind of in the mystery of what's going on.
Look, man, at the end of the day, you fucking won, and that's
Yeah.
better than anything else.
So I think my journey will really take off once I play at this at the overseas gig. I think I've just
Yeah.
got to wait for so you've got to send a mix into them.
Yeah.
It can be however long you want, any genre. So I'm actually at a genre crisis really. So I'm kind of going. I think I'm starting to get more into UKG.
Yeah.
There's smaller competition at the moment with
Yeah.
that as well. And DB so jump up focus at the moment, and it's not
Yeah.
really. that's not
UKG is
really a
fucking
players-
very
play.
Australia-wide sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's still, from my perspective anyway, it's still a pretty new thing
Yeah.
from what I can see.
No, it definitely is talking
Yeah.
about UKG.
Yeah, well, I was always a bit of a slut for tech house.
Yeah.
So a bit of a faster tech house with the DMB sounds is
UKG.
up my alley.
hits.
Yeah.
Well, that's your song of the week is a UKG song, didn't you say?
It's actually a tech house, but it's got UKG sounds. Like the bass definitely sounds more like a UKG song.
What's the song? I'll play it.
Record on the Needle by Riordan.
This one. I didn't listen to this. Sorry.
The middle part's sick. It's
The
got
middle part, halfway
it's-
through.
Yeah. And then you'll get into like this breakdown.
That's a bop, man.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, this is sick. I haven't actually heard this in any tech house song before, so, and it really makes me want to make a UKG out of it.
I love the video for it.
Yeah.
That's sick. It's like hell old school, eh?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a sample from a really old record too.
It would be, eh?
Yeah.
Sounds like an old hip hop, like.
Yeah, no, there's a few songs called Heat on the record actually.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find, this on the website that I've been given access to that you can get solid, all your songs for free at a month, because my mate pays for it, but it's not exactly legal.
John, you can't do illegal stuff, mate.
No, what it is a bunch of DJs get together and they, put their music on there.
Yeah.
And you just you're basically paying, I think it's like $30 a month.
So it's like subscription
every
stuff.
record pool, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's constantly monitored every day, so you're not really getting those rips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's proper stuff. And you'd be surprised how many like bigger DJs
Put it on
are
there.
on there. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So Squinty's given me his password and that for that. So
Love that boy.
he is really supportive of me, and I couldn't thank him enough. So, but I was trying to find that on there, but since it's such a new song,
Can't find it?
can't find it. But you can find all the other songs with the same sample in it.
Oh, true. Do you like, I don't know how to describe Mr. Traumatic and Devil Man. Do you like him?
Yeah, I used to be into him. I heard they were trying to cancel.
My first rave was a Mr. Traumatic one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right, in Albany nightclub. First all-night I ever pulled in my life. And I was driving behind coppers. I came out of the club, and there was these coppers there. They saw me, and then in the morning I went down to go get a coffee, and they were standing in front of me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've liked a bit of Traumatic stuff.
I don't know, I just like him, eh?
He's just got a very unique voice.
Both of them do, eh? I just
Yeah.
think they're both killer. Like, you hear MCs, and I think they're both just killer on the beat.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
they just flow so easy.
Yeah, but
don't know.
it didn't. Mr. Traumatic, isn't
Yeah,
he trying to
fucking-
cancel him?
Yeah, because he made some homophobic comments or some shit. I don't know. Don't get involved in
What
that sort of
rapper
stuff.
hasn't made, or MC hasn't made homophobic?
Exactly. But he posted a tweet about it, so. He posted a
Well-
fuck you tweet to the people that were trying to cancel him, and it kind of just dug his hole a little bit deeper.
Yeah, wasn't there a
he's-
song he released on his new album that's got like something to do with that, trying to cancel him?
Yeah, look. He's always going to be like that. That's just who
That's
he
just
is.
that's just the way he is, and it's his style. So,
But
that's
who
like,
I don't know how it affects his music.
yeah,
Like, you can be a cunt and be a good DJ, or you
people
can
that
be a
still
shit
listen, yeah.
DJ and not be a cunt. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
there's still people that listen to 6ix9ine. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's a flog.
Yeah, but you have that opinion on him. I did play. I'm guilty. I did play a bootleg of a 6ix9ine song.
That's all right. Bootleg of it. Makes it better.
It was a drum and bass bootleg. It was pretty sick. Actually, no, it's not a drum and bass bootleg. It was, I think it's more like an electronica, but it has the 2-step pattern of a drum and bass
Yeah, right.
song, and I just sped it up a little bit.
It's better up a little bit.
Yeah, so that's not actually, and it's the only song of that kind that producer has made. The rest
Yeah,
is like half-time shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Strange, eh?
yeah, it's strange.
So, the last question from last week was, if you could go back and tell 10 years and tell your younger self 3 things, what would you tell him?
In 10 years. Oh, I'll be 10.
You're only 20.
Yeah.
Fuck, you look like an old cunt, eh?
No, I'm still young. If I go back in 10 years and tell myself, my 10-year-old self, 3 things. Stay resilient.
Yeah.
Don't trust everyone.
Yeah.
Don't ever give up.
That's 3 pretty solid fucking...
Yeah.
I can't remember what I said.
I was so young. Like me, it's different to say like if I was, maybe 25 or something, you're 15 sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like when you're 10, you're still kind of just
fresh
hanging.
to it all.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard, eh? What was your question?
My question, I've actually got it written down here so I get it right.
You're probably the first person I reminded to think of a question. I normally ask people on the spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I kind of forget.
Well, I can pretty much think of stuff pretty well on the spot, but
some people kind of deer in headlights.
Yeah.
And it kind of comes out as like random things.
Yeah, so I've got here, for whoever the next person is, where would you see yourself in 5 years if you could put 100% effort into yourself every day until then?
It's a good question. Can you answer that question?
Can I answer that question?
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years if you gave 100%?
To be honest, if I gave it 100%, I'd probably be at a decent enough level to call myself like a maybe a soda or a primate in success levels.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I think I definitely have the drive for it, and people have seen it before.
Yeah.
I just lack the discipline to be consistent and keep on top of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's my main issue.
So in 5 years' time, when I get you next on in 5 years' time, you're going to be playing big shows around the world.
I can guarantee that.
I'll put money on it, mate.
Put money on it, go on. I'll do it. I'm still so young. I've got great opportunities, and I've actually created myself some pretty interesting opportunities that I'll maybe discuss later.
Yeah, fucking oath. No, but that's a good thing, man. Be positive about the future and set goals.
Yeah.
Not even goals, just be like aspirations. You want to be, that's the direction you want to go instead of wandering around aimlessly in this thing called life.
Yeah, I just don't want to be known as the YourShot winner anymore. It's getting old.
Like I said, you get 365 days of that.
Yeah, I'm still over it.
Still, you got to move on from it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, man. Last thing, word to the wise.
Word to the wise. Oh, I have it written down, but I remember it because I made it myself.
Yeah.
It's probably shit, but I think it's got a good meaning behind it. If it isn't from the heart, it was never worth the start.
That's pretty fucking good.
Pretty deep.
That is pretty deep. But that's good.
Yeah, because I do.
That's tattoo worthy. That'd be a white girl's tattoo.
White girl tattoo. That'd be like a drunk nights in Bali thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under the tit or something.
Yeah. It's like those angel numbers.
Yeah. Oh, well. Alrighty. Well, we're fucking nearly done in here anyway. So it's been a pleasure having you on, man.
Yeah.
It's good to actually have a proper chat and not be an event fucking with music in the background.
Music in the background and other stuff in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, mate. Well, thank you for coming on.
No worries.
And we'll I'll link all your shit in the fucking bios and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can get a few crew down for the next event. When was it? December
the 15th, so the night before Dimension, which is an interesting one. It was actually going to be the 16th, and I realised I'm going to Dimension, so...
Yeah, it can't be.
It can't, yeah.
No, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Oh, I think my work do might be on the 15th. That could be dangerous.
Bring the work boys down.
That could be dangerous. The boss has got a new kid, so he'll be home early, so we could all jump on that train. Oh, that could be dangerous.
Do it.
Alrighty, well... If we don't catch you there, we'll catch you about anyways.
Yeah, definitely see me at Dimension if you're there.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dimension's going to be sick.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll catch you on the decks.
No worries. Cheers for that.
See you, mate. Bye.
Left.